Hi, this is Carl, and this is another SOP video for managed service providers. So this is part 2 of 2 on what to do when a server is down. So let's start with a couple of rules. So first of all, rule number 1, don't panic. I know that seems simple, but all work that's done in panic is less profitable than all work done that's planned. So you need to slow down, figure out what you're doing, figure out what your resources are. When a server is down, you can plan for it. So remember that. If you think about it, when your heater fails during the first cold night of the year, you call for tech support. They're going to say, we will get there as quickly as we can. We've got you in order. Do what you can in the meantime, and we will get there as quickly as we can. That's exactly the way you need to treat a server down. You cannot panic. You cannot stop doing something. You need to bring whatever work is underway to a tidy end or to a convenient stopping place. Second, kind of mentioned this already, but you can prepare for an emergency. We prepare for fires and floods and hazmat spills and all kinds of stuff. You can prepare for a server down and know what you're going to do. Part of this is understanding what is a priority 1. So I believe in a 4-part priority system. 1 is an absolute emergency. So that means company-wide, the company is losing money, your client is losing money. Either everybody's down or some critical function such as email or their line of business app is unavailable. 2, 3, and 4 are simply high, medium, and low priority. So it's important to note that a human being cannot set a priority 1. A human being can't set an emergency unless they set their own building on fire. Priority 1s set themselves. The highest a human being can ask for is high priority, which is a priority 2. So with that, once you've defined what constitutes a priority 1 or an emergency, then you can figure out what is an appropriate response. Number 3, you need to talk to your client. Find out what's going on. What happened immediately before? What are you doing? What's going on at the office right now? And believe it or not, ask them how critical this is. Do not assume that a failed server hard drive or internet outage or whatever is critical to them right now. I've gone into clients' offices during an emergency and had them say, look, we're in the middle of prepping a monster mailing. Everybody's all hands on deck. We're all in the conference room. Whatever you do, we can't help you. Don't ask us any questions. Don't bother us. This absolutely has to get out by today. Bring the server up as quickly as you can, but unless we're taking a break, do not bother us. So don't assume that you know what the client is going through. They may have many other things in their business besides what you're aware of and the technology that you touch. Now, when you start communicating with the client, ask them, so which functions should I bring up first? What's the single most important thing? Servers are no longer an all or nothing option, especially in the age of cloud. So figure out what's important, prioritize it, and work from there. Now, a little bit of advice in normal business hours versus after hours. So in normal business hours, a priority 1 is very, very rare, but it does happen. So you need to acknowledge it with the client. You need to make sure that they know what's going on. Internally, you have to figure out who's going to deal with this. And whatever that person's doing, they're probably not sitting with their feet up on their desk reading a magazine. So they're out working on something else. That needs to be brought to a rational conclusion, either finish the ticket or come to a stopping place, draw a line in the checklist, assign it to another technician, whatever. So make sure that you understand that. Next, you got to make sure you know whether or not this is billable. Do they have a managed service contract? Does it cover this specific outage? If it happens after 6 o'clock, that even if the labor would have been covered during managed services, after 6 o'clock it becomes billable. So ask the client, do you want us to take a break until 8 a.m. or keep working through the night and pay those after hours rates? Determine who can finish the job, and then if it can't be finished within their shift, you got to figure out what you're doing. Again, clients understand human beings have to go home, that you can't work 12-hour work days, right? All that kind of stuff. Communicate, communicate, communicate. So that's absolutely critical. And if at all possible, do the work remotely and keep the client informed of what you're doing. Now, after hours work, that's a different story, because you do have to first focus on make sure that this is billable, make sure that you're getting money for it, make it as profitable as possible. You are probably going to receive some kind of alert. The only way that you know a server is down if the client can't contact you is that you got an alert through your RMM. So who do you call in the company? You should have a call down list of the 3 people that you want to contact first when a server is down after hours, and find out, what they want you to do about it. Remember, the people who are 2 and 3 on that list may not be authorized to spend money. So you just want to get the word to whoever can authorize you to begin work after hours, or determine that work will begin at 8 o'clock in the morning. I've already alluded to rule number 4. Communication is absolutely critical. So you have to manage the relationship. That means the relationship with the client. You have to manage the relationship or the communication with your own technicians. Make sure that they don't panic and that they manage this in a very professional manner. Also, if vendors are involved, you got to communicate with them and determine how we're going to proceed. And remember, not all server down procedures that start as a priority 1 stay priority 1. So for example, if you're working on something, you say, okay, we have to wait until the vendor finishes defragging the database or whatever, you can then move something to a priority 3, which is scheduled work, or to a priority 2, which is important, critical, but it's not an emergency. And also, sometimes you say, oh, well, we got to wait on parts. So whether that's 4 hours or 8 hours or 2 days, you have to have it waiting on parts. So the status becomes no longer absolutely critical and emergency. So it's important that you move that status to the appropriate level. Again, always communicating with the client, and stay as profitable as possible. There's no reason for you to lose money just because it's an emergency. For Small Biz Thoughts, this is Carl Palchuk, wishing you the best of luck in your managed service business. Like it if you like it, share it with your friends, and absolutely subscribe to the channel.